Hey everybody, decompressed from our last Lost over the last 24 hours. Let's read. You know what? No. You take too many liberties with me, Isaac. You take me for granted, okay? You can't keep feeding me Jacob, Esau. I want to go back in the videos. Jacob and Esau, Lost, Tainted Lost, Regular Keeper, Lilith. I'm willing to meet you halfway, but you know what? You screwed up today. You screwed up today. You give me 2 Jacob and Esau's in a row. You want me to use Hush? You want me to fight Hush on one of them? You lost your mind. We're doing regular Isaac. You know why? I'm a psycho, okay? One of the things I like most about gaming, one of the things that speaks to me in my soul, is I'm not afraid of having a good time, unlike some people out there. I don't know who, but there's probably some people out there who don't like fun. Frank Grimes from that Simpsons episode that features Frank Grimes. Interesting. What an interesting choice you made there. True, that's true. Okay, not a good play. That might have been letting my emotions play that one, but that's okay. I'm not actually upset. I was a little annoyed at the end of the last episode when, I'm trying to dodge the fires that come in from the beast with 2 different units that, they don't move at different speeds, but because they're at different distances from the tractor beam that the beast is summoning, they're, moving at different rates. And then one of the units just gets stuck too close and literally, can't escape anymore. And you're like, okay, well, I guess I'll die. And that's exactly how that went down, quite frankly. If you recall, if you didn't watch the episode, you could probably glean. And that was after, 50 minutes of really, let's not call it min-maxing, because I left a little bit on the table. I probably did lose by the amount of HP that I, got rid of, but, or didn't pick up, I should say. But still, it was a bit of a slap in the face. So I said, you know what? Nah, man. Nah. I said I wasn't about that. Hold on. We can use this Lover's card to great effect. Isaac's Tomb spawns an old chest at the start of every floor. This is a real item that exists? I thought this was Death Certificate for a second, and I got mighty excited. Make me think I'm mighty sick. Get owned. Alright, all things considered. Dude, now that we got Isaac's Tomb, that's why you gotta use this stuff on a secret room. Are you seeing this mea culpa, by the way? Which I think is Latin for I apologize. Or my fault, maybe. Look at this. It takes a key to open it? They gave us a damage and a speed upgrade in the boss fight? Oh, you didn't have to wheel out the red carpet by giving me 2 stats that actually provide a measurable positive impact on our run. You could have just given me Pageant Boy or Mom's Coin Purse or something like that instead. That would have been fine. Honestly, it's pretty fair that that takes a key to open if it contains great stuff. I don't mind having to spend the key to get it. Oh, you shouldn't have. Well, a good pill. You mean it's not an immediate tears down on Esau? Look, maybe I'm not. Maybe, when I said I had decompressed from yesterday's run, maybe that's not fully true. I'm realizing now that that might have been a slight exaggeration, but either way, the only way to really, get over it is to, if that had hit a secret room, we're in the dream timeline. But, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the only way to get over the negativity that sometimes you experience in a game like this is to play a little bit more, and then you'll hopefully, get some runs that desalinate you. The truth of the matter is, admittedly, we did have a desalinating run right before the run that was a little bit more of a kick in the pants. So I should keep that in mind, but it's hard to do so. Anyway, how am I doing? I'm doing fine, thank you for asking. Is Survivor Night, Survivor Finale? Oh man, very, very interesting. Who knows what's gonna happen? That's the thing, man. Anything can happen. You pay for your whole seat, and yet you only use the edge. Although it is 2 hours long. So it's plus a reunion, maybe? Looking forward to that. That's about it, really. But like, I'm feeling great. I'm actually back in like feeling 1000% territory. Maybe I don't sound like 100% like I'm at 1000%, but I'm genuinely very close. This is a no Kleenex zone. That's very nice, actually. You know what? Let's not take a deal with the devil. Let's go deals with the angel. We got the bomb base to make it work. The boom man and Maybabes that could really make you think the wrong things. I'm stupid with that. It's gotta be our secret room, man. You know what? If it's gotta be your secret room, then do it this way. Okay, it was. And we got a key as well. Lucky us. Lucky us, would you do? Seriously, okay. You know what? You scratch my back, I scratch yours. I can live with that. Although, we should have placed the bomb, obviously, around the other area there. But we have red hearts, so let's not use a bomb to go in here. Let's just go in there. Ooh. That would be lovely. Anyway, yeah, I'm honestly, like... I apologize, because I keep restating this every single video. But essentially, I'm like a 55-year-old man right now, where my life basically revolves around waking up earlier than my alarm. That's a big part of my mental health right now. Taking care of my job and my household responsibilities and my family while my wife is still a little bit under the weather. And apart from that, I mean, I can't complain about not having any leisure time when I get 30 minutes to take an intense Samyo AC/DC ride on the Peloton. I'll be shaking at the knees. So I think it's just like, this is your new look NL temporarily. Until, hopefully not until any longer than, like, you know, the end of December. And then after that, I don't know, man, in January, maybe it's time for a midlife crisis to set in. Maybe it's finally time for me to buy a sports car and get a toupee. That could be fun. No, not really. I don't think I would want... People think that I'm making this up. Well, honestly, I'm not sure if I actually can say that anymore. I think people, when I used to, like, my dad had some coworkers when I was growing up that, like, they'd buy a fancy car and then they'd, like, be like, hey, you know, you're a 13-year-old. You want to see my cool fancy car? And even as a kid, I was like, not really. They weren't being weird about it, by the way. Well, no, they were being weird in the sense they were trying to show off to, like, a teenager. But, like, there was nothing more, you know, sinister than that. I remember, like, one of my dad's coworkers bought, like, some kind of Porsche coupe. And then he was, like, showing it to me, and he's like, check it out. Look at that. It's really, like, low to the ground. You want to take a seat? And then I sat in the driver's seat, and I was like, you're right. That's really low to the ground, man. It's, like, so low to the ground that it's actually unpleasant to get into the car. I'm not saying, you know, I wouldn't take one, just for the record. I'm not, like, let's not make any enemies, you know? Let's not say something we regret. But I've just, the concept of having, especially like a very fast car, has never really appealed to me, especially as somebody who lives in a city. I honestly, like you get stuck in traffic. If you've never been to Vancouver, like it's kind of a superstar, or a supercar paradise. You see a ton of supercars, like on a daily basis, you'll see Lamborghinis, Porsches, I'm probably saying Porsche wrong, I apologize. Porsche de Rossi. I'm gonna roll both, so this isn't a big problem. I'm content there. I do see that we have one tinted rock minimum right there. Okay, that worked out pretty well, honestly. One tinted rock, okay. I guess we'll pick this up then. I'm not gonna go to the shop. I'm gonna save my key for the next Isaac's Tomb. You see Ferraris, I wouldn't say every day, but certainly like on a weekly basis, I would say like with a 100% incidence rate. If you're around, you know, that is. And I'm not saying like, you know, it's not in my driveway. Let's just put it that way. Okay, take me down. So you see these cars all the time, and sometimes you'll be like, you know, driving across the Cambie Bridge. They're doing all sorts of construction on it right now. You know how it is. You know, there's 2 seasons in Vancouver, man. Ooh, winter and construction, dude. Or you know, like the weather. Just wait 10 minutes. Okay, the spun. You love to see it. Horf? Do something with it, maybe. These are just, the joke here is these are things that every city says that they think are only about their city, but actually every city says it. And you'll be next to like a, you know, like a Lamborghini or a McLaren or something like that, and they're just, you know, driving along the bridge at 10 kilometers an hour, and it, honestly, like, it just seems annoying. I'm not saying like, wow, you paid so much for this car, and then for, you know, 5 minutes you can't drive it fast. I mean, like, they're like shifting like a son of a gun, you know, start, brake every time they start. I don't know if this is just like built into sports cars that they make you sound like you're driving like an a-hole. Like they all, when they're accelerating to like, you know, even mild speeds, they're like, bring, 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 bring. Or if you have to, like, maybe that's just a special mode that's like, you know, hey, let everybody around me know that I'm here in my McLaren. Something like that. Like, I don't know, but it honestly just seems like kind of annoying to have to drive a supercar in this city. I don't have any sympathy because I don't think many people get, like, you know, tricked into buying like a Lamborghini Gallardo or whatever, but it's more, I'm just confused some of the time. Just confused by the desire. I'm not saying you have to drive like a, you know, Honda Odyssey or something like that. Dude, it's really hard to not take Sigil of Baphomet. Sigil of Bofa, as we say. I'm loving the fact that this is like an easy run right now. This is a dream come true for me. I also think with Sigil of Baphomet, well, that's not gonna work. Oh, Spun doesn't create demon hearts for us anymore, right? Like, I thought maybe we could use it to good effect with Spun, but... And I will take the liberty, by the way, to travel at the speed at which I see most appropriate, which right now is very fast. And I'm having a great time, by the way. Anyway. But I used to tell people, like, you know, I don't really have that much interest in owning, like, a sports car or something like that. And people would think that I was lying. I think that, honestly, I should not have done this, but that's okay. I think that the generations have changed. Like, as time has gone on, now when I say it on stream, I'm sure that I'm not, like, trying to insult people who are car people. If your lifelong dream has been, to, you know, to own a sports car, then, you know, by all means, within reason, you know, to the level that you're able to do so, pursue that. It's just something that hasn't really ever appealed to me in my life, and I think if I ended up buying, like, some kind of sports car, I would be doing it, like, to put on false airs that don't actually feel authentic to me as a person. I feel like, you know, allow me to be very complimentary, both to my own generation, but also to Gen Z, for sure. I feel like we're a little bit less, maybe, materialistic than... And I don't mean materialistic as an insult, necessarily. But I feel like, you know, much less about the possessions you have, you know, mattering in your life. Like, I don't know, I've never heard, like, I don't have that many conversations with people that are, like, 20 years old, but I've never heard a 20-year-old be like, oh, man, I would love, like, a Skidoo. I would love, like, a jet ski right now. I feel like that's mostly the domain of older people, although it might just be because they're the ones that are more likely to have the means to handle it, I guess, but... I don't know, it was like, that was kind of emblematic of the culture of, like, you know, the 1950s to the 1980s, right? When you're 16 years old, you get, like, you know, a crappy car, and you fix it up, and then your whole life, you're like, oh, man, one day I'm gonna buy, like, the car of my dreams when I'm older, and I have a little bit more disposable income. I don't really feel that. I don't know. I don't know what my retirement dream is, but I don't know. I don't think that a Mercedes is gonna sate it. Let's put it that way. Maybe 2 Mercedeses. Yeah, that's the ticket. But I've talked about it before. The media has portrayed the idea of a midlife crisis like it's like a guaranteed thing. And then when I went looking for, you know, just out of curiosity, when I went looking on the internet for, like, evidence for that, most of the evidence seems to point to the fact that the midlife crisis is not necessarily a widely observed phenomenon. I mean, just because you see, Very interesting. Just because you see, you know, somebody driving a Mazda Miata with the top down and a toupee on every third time you're out, you know, driving in the summertime doesn't necessarily... I mean, that one guy could be making the midlife crisis seem overrepresented for tens of thousands of people, you know, in his town or his city. That being said, I will also say that I'm pretty sure that one, like, 50-something neighbor that we live next to who partied until 4 a.m. every night, I think he was having a midlife crisis, and honestly, his midlife crisis was so severe that it was actually threatening to turn his midlife crisis into, like, a three-quarters life crisis, because he was living too fast. No 25-year-old should be living the lifestyle that this guy was living for their own health reasons. This guy was... I mean, he was trying to prove whether or not he was built different. But anyway, I digress, you know. I hope he's doing okay. I do. It's like, I don't hope that he's, like, you know, suffering, you know. I just also hope that, you know, he's got a house that's, like, detached from his neighbors now, so he doesn't have to put anybody else through what we went through. But anyway, like, I digress. Hope he's doing okay. Really, that's a new character I'm working on. It's called My Authentic Personality. It's a guy who judges people, but then says, in all honesty, though, hope they're doing well. I think it could really take off. I think it's relatable. I think a lot of people embody that themselves. You gotta love it. You love to see that. I know what you're thinking as well. It's a highly specific thought. You're thinking, NL, this would be a great chance to get redemption, to get revenge on the final boss that so disappointed you last time, and go back with stronger weaponry and say, oh, you thought I was what, dead? Nah, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna go to the chest, because, like, honestly, that's about the... This is about where I stand right now. Is like, just let me get some momentum back. Let me engage with some positivity in this game. Let me feel a brief modicum of strength. And then, my favorite James Bond movie, by the way, Modicum of Strength. It's a good one. It's a George Lazenby one, if you haven't seen it. James Bond tries to stop, it's a character, he works for Blofeld. His name is Ernst Caterpillar. He runs a secret criminal organization called B period, U period, and you just repeat that and it spells out butterfly. Look, I'm not going to spoil any more. It's one of those classic Platinum Age James Bond films. I really encourage you to give it a try. Okay, how dare you. Dude, it's crazy. I'm, like, so out of the loop on the Daniel Craig Bonds. So I saw Casino Royale and loved it. I've seen it a couple times now. I thought it was very good. I saw Quantum of Solace in theaters the day it came out and was like, what happened? It's a great item. Like, why didn't you just make... Like, you already made Casino Royale. It was amazing. Why didn't you just make this one as good as Casino Royale instead of making it, like, a weird waste of everybody's time? And then I said, that's it. I'm done with James Bond for a little bit. And then on a plane, I saw Skyfall a couple of years after it came out. And I was like, whoa, that's pretty good. I had a good time. Maybe I still prefer Casino Royale. But Skyfall was a good time. I think most people would tend to agree on that. Then I was excited for Spectre, man. Because I was like... They got two-thirds of the Bond movies are freaking cracked. How could they go wrong? They got, I've now forgotten his name. Chris Waltz from Inglourious B-Words. I can't say the name. We'll get Google deep-minded. Christoph Waltz. How could it go wrong? He's such a sinister villain, right? It could be great. And then the reviews came out and they were like, it sucks. And so I was like, I'm done with James Bond. But then the new No Time to Die, people were like, it's possibly the best Daniel Craig James Bond. Like, it's crazy, man. I don't understand. It's like You know what they need to do? Is they need to swap all the X-Men filmmakers and the James Bond filmmakers every other movie, and then possibly both franchises could have some consistency instead of like good, bad, great, good, bad. Like, what you make Casino Royale, it comes out, people love it. Guess what? Now you're working for the next 4 years. X-Men First Class. Well, First Class was actually pretty good. I don't mean to insult First Class, but I mean, somebody who worked on Spectre, it would have been better off if they were working on X-Men Apocalypse. Maybe they would stand a chance to make X-Men Apocalypse good because it's a fresh project. And then the people who were working on X-Men Apocalypse, you got to go work on Spectre. Like, maybe with a fresh pair of eyeballs, who knows? Maybe Spectre could have done something. You like this idea? I think that this is like a film Twitter bit. It doesn't work well in Isaac. It probably wouldn't work well on film Twitter either because it's not about the power of the dog. So I think that would we'd have an uphill battle there. But I do think it's kind of a humorous idea, don't you? A humorous idea. Hey, what if the James Bond and the X-Men franchises swapped filmmakers every other film? Maybe that would up their consistency? Maybe yes, maybe no. Probably not, but it's certainly a funny thought, and that's what we're here for. All right, take me down. I'm having such a fun run here. Like, I do owe the game a debt of gratitude for that, so thank you, game. I'm psycho. I'll open that. I don't care. Confuses enemies, and its effect is doubled. That sounds good. Soup of the day. That sounds delicious. Soup of the day. What's that? No, wait. Soup du jour. What's that? It's the soup of the day. Oh, that sounds delicious. I'll have that. Okay, so it only took me like 7 times to get the quote correct. Wonderful. You know, it's about quality, not quantity. It's about power. We stay hungry. We devour. Did you know, by the way, that rap song by The Rock is not the first rap song that The Rock has ever recorded? During the Attitude Era, the WWE went through a very strange... I mean, it's much like the streaming industry went through during the rap battle era, right? Where it was like, I don't know, I guess we'll turn these like fake feuds into music. So Macho Man Randy Savage has his own album, and the track 1 is Be a Man, Hogan. Come on, Hogan, don't be scared. You scared of Macho Man, that's what I heard. Hulk Hogan also has his own rap album from that era. But then WWE itself released like a compilation rap album. And there's a very bizarre one on there of The Rock. I don't know. He's like... He definitely has... relations with somebody that he meets in the song, and he does what many people would probably describe as a bit of a regrettable accent as well. But you know, it was like 2001. We thought that, you know, we had defeated racism forever or whatever, and that turned out to not be the case. So I'm not saying we should cancel The Rock. I'm just saying that in light of The Rock's return to the rap music arena, I would just encourage you to search up like 2001 The Rock WWE rap and have some fun with that. But for now, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode as much as I did. And if you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.